I'm writing this now because I don't know how much time I have left. If something happens to me, at least someone will know what really happened after I found that VHS tape. My name is Donovan Meeks. I'm 22, and last month I found something in my attic that I was never supposed to find. I was up there looking for my old Halloween costumes, digging through dusty boxes and cobweb-covered beams. My attic has always creeped me out. It feels like one of those liminal, backrooms-type spaces, too still, too quiet, like something is always watching from the corners. I was rummaging through a stack of old boxes when I finally found the one labeled Halloween. The moment I lifted it, this huge black widow crawled out and darted across the floor. I jumped back, tripped over a pile of other boxes, and landed hard. As I was scrambling to get up, something caught my eye in the middle of the mess I'd made. A VHS tape. But it was dot clean, completely dust-free, and it was halfway rewound, as if someone had just finished watching it. Written on the front, in bold permanent marker over a piece of white tape, were the words, "Do not watch." I'd never seen it before. I've never even owned a VHS player, and I live alone. My curiosity got the better of my fear. Within minutes I was down at the nearest pawn shop, picking up a cheap VHS player for $6. But when I got back home, the tape wasn't on my coffee table anymore. I know I placed it dead center. I know I did. But it was gone. I tore my house apart searching for it. Every room, every drawer, every single corner. Nothing. The idea of something just disappearing from right in front of me started to eat at my mind. I barely slept that night. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to footsteps. Not in my hallway, but right above me. In the attic. I tried to tell myself it was just a dream, that I was imagining it. But then the footsteps started again, this time slower and heavier. I grabbed the baseball bat I keep beside my bed. I wanted whoever was up there to hear me coming. I wanted them to know I wasn't afraid, but that was a lie. I was terrified. I pulled the attic door down, the ladder creaking open into the dark hallway. With the bat in one hand and my phone's flashlight in the other, I started to climb. When I was about 6 inches from the attic opening, I shouted, "I know you're up there. I'm armed. Come out now." Silence. A completely unnatural, deafening silence. The air suddenly changed. The temperature dropped so fast I started shivering. I warned again, "I'm coming up," and I slowly climbed the rest of the way. The attic looked exactly as I'd left it, a total mess, except for one thing. The VHS tape was back. It was placed neatly right in the center of all the scattered boxes. My hands were shaking as I approached it, scanning the room with my flashlight. No movement, no breathing, no sound. I crouched down, picked up the tape, and then an entire wall of boxes collapsed across the attic. Fast footsteps and possibly fast rushed toward me, stopping just inches in front of my face before vanishing into nothing. I spun around wildly, sweating, my flashlight shaking uncontrollably in my hand. "Show yourself." I screamed. Silence again. Then a deep voice whispered right behind me, so close I could feel its breath on my neck. "Boo!" I bolted. I scrambled down the ladder so fast my foot twisted on the last rung. I heard a snap. Pain shot up my leg like fire. I fell to the floor, but I held onto that tape like my life depended on it. I ended up in the hospital with a broken ankle. I didn't dare tell the doctors what actually happened. The next morning, as soon as I was discharged, I went straight home, determined to finally watch that tape. When I got inside, my house was destroyed. Cabinets were wide open, furniture was overturned, objects were placed deliberately in strange patterns around the room. But one thing was untouched, the VHS player. I was just sitting there, waiting. I noticed the tape now had a new label. It was bright red, printed like a chemical warning sign. It read, "Do not watch this." I ignored it. I sat on the floor, put the tape in, and pressed play. Static blasted across the screen, loud and violent. Then the picture faded in. A mailbox. My mailbox, showing my address. The camera slowly approached my front porch, my front door, my stairs, my attic door. Then the screen went black, as if the person filming was hiding in my attic. After a long, tense stillness, the video cut sharply. Now, the camera was pointed at the attic door from the inside. I saw shadows moving behind the door, shadows shaped exactly like me. Another cut. Now the camera was filming me as I climbed into the attic the day before, searching for my costumes, completely unaware that I was being recorded. The tape showed everything. Someone was inside my house. Someone was inches from me. Someone was filming me the entire time. It cut to my living room. A pale hand placed a pot on my kitchen counter. Then back to the attic. Me, terrified, exploring it with a flashlight. Then the tape abruptly changed. The final frame wasn't pre-recorded footage. It was live, a live feed of me, sitting on my living room floor, looking up the TV, staring in absolute shock. It was me watching myself on the screen in real time. And then the feed moved. The camera holding the feed was walking. Footsteps echoed from the TV speakers, closer and closer, moving through my house, toward me. The last sound I heard before I ran was the creak of my own floorboards, right behind me. I used to think the worst thing that ever happened to me was losing my mother. Now, I'm starting to think the worst thing was surviving. I had just turned 5 when it happened. I was riding my brand new red glittery bicycle, a birthday present, when I hit a rock and flew over the handlebars. I scraped up my arms and legs, crying, panicking. My mother rushed off the porch, trying to grab the bike before it rolled too far into the street. She reached it just as a truck came barreling down the road. The driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. No warning, no time. My mother was gone before I even understood what was happening. For years, I couldn't even look at a bicycle without remembering that day. But the strange thing is, my red glitter bicycle, it never frightened me. Even after the accident, I kept it. I don't know why. When I was 10, 2 older kids in my neighborhood started tormenting me. They were years older and way bigger, and for months, they made me their target. One afternoon, they cornered me in a quiet alley and started beating me. I genuinely thought they were going to kill me. But then I heard a sound I hadn't heard since that birthday morning years ago, a bright, cheerful little bell. My red bicycle rolled into the alley on its own. No rider, no explanation. Just the soft click of its wheels turning. Wally's froze, staring at it confused. Then something happened that I still can't fully understand. The bike moved toward them, steady and deliberate. The chain dropped from its frame and wrapped around their ankles like it had a mind of its own. I didn't see what happened next. I squeezed my eyes shut. I heard screaming, then silence. When I opened them, the bullies were lying on the ground alive, but sprawled out and terrified, like they'd just been attacked by something they couldn't comprehend. The bicycle stood between us, its handlebars angled toward me, as if waiting. And I felt certain, absolutely certain, that it would never hurt me. After that day, strange things just kept happening. My stepmother was a heavy drinker. She adored me but hated my father, and over time her affection twisted into something obsessive, something dangerous. One night she crossed a line. Just as she reached for me, the familiar ring of a bicycle bell echoed through the house. She screamed and then she vanished. I never saw her again. Nobody, no explanation. Only faint wheel marks on the floorboards. Years later, in college, my girlfriend cheated on me with one of my closest friends. It hurt, but I wasn't angry enough to wish anything bad on them. A few days later, the news reported they'd been found dead under unexplained circumstances. The police questioned me, but I had a solid alibi. I told them I had no idea who could have done it. That was a lie. I knew exactly who or what had been near them. A harmless prank from my roommate resulted in him being missing the next morning. People who snapped at me in public ended up in local news reports, always unexplained, always sudden, always violent in ways no one could make sense of. Eventually, people just stopped coming near me altogether. I lost jobs, lost friends, lost whatever normal life I had left. I started staying inside all the time. It was safer that way for them. When my money ran out and food got low, I heard a soft ringing outside my apartment door. 2 grocery bags sat waiting for me, one filled with food, the other with cash, and on the carpet, faint bicycle tracks leading away. Now I barely leave my apartment. I keep the curtains closed. I live quietly. I try to avoid drawing any attention to myself, because I know it's out there somewhere, watching, waiting, protecting me. And the only way it knows how, some nights when the building gets quiet, I swear I can hear a faint metallic squeak, like wheels turning slowly in the hallway, like a bell ringing once, just once. And every time I hear it, I remind myself, it doesn't hurt me, it hurts the people who hurt me. I suppose that's what my mother would have wanted, for me to be safe, even if it means everyone else isn't. Thanks for listening. If you like this story, be sure to follow for more.